Hello folks, how you doing? And welcome to our channel. Well, this is Thursday's news, and today is the 11th, let's just check, 11th of December 2025. And we've got quite a list to work our way through this morning. So let me just let you know some of the areas that we will be reading on today. Super flu in the UK. Trump's travel social media checks, apparently, allegedly. He wants to bring in, or he's trying to bring in, checks where if you travel into as a tourist, I don't know if it's about immigration as well, um, your past 5 years social media usage will be checked. It's confirmed that Meghan has sent a letter to Thomas Markle in hospital, and it is allegedly being hand delivered. We're going to look at the US and Venezuela and this oil tanker thingy that's been going on. And there was a royal lady that literally I was flicking through Instagram a few days ago, and she just at me. And it was Princess Sofia of Sweden. I'm quite drawn to a lot of the European royal women. I think they are immensely attractive. But there's always been something about her that I've never been able to gel with. And apparently, it's come out that she has had past connections to Epstein. And I think that she has, at the time of filming, cancelled an event today or a few events. Anyway, let's get to it. Right, so we are going to be using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. We will also be using the Forecaster Oracle by Trishejaimes Oracles. We will also be using the Investigation deck by Trishejaimes Oracles. Oh, they're all coming out today. The Governance Oracle by Trishejaimes Oracles. And Stardust Shadows by Trishejaimes Oracles. She has gifted me a couple of decks. Therefore, if you want to have a look at her links, her YouTube channel and her website, if you're drawn to her decks, the link will be in the description box. Anyway, let's get to it. UK superflu. So, allegedly, there is a variant of superflu, it's been called, in the UK. And the UK press are already talking about the potential for lockdowns and the potential for mask wearing and jabs. Yeah. So let's just have a look at this UK super flu. We'll use the tarot and then we'll use the governance deck. Okay. Interesting. My deck has literally just sprung all over the place, but it's nothing we can't deal with, is it not? Sure, it's only a couple there, I think. So UK superflu, what's going on? What's occurring? Show me the true energy of this, please. Illusion cards just on the cusp. If it's meant to come out. Hmm. I have just got a very interesting download. Shall I share it with you? Let me just shuffle first. UK superflu, true images, please. Oops. UK superflu. Okay, we're done. So, death and rebirth at the bottom. I've just got to download. And it's this. I can't talk for any other country in the world, but in the UK at the minute, there is an everywhere you go, literally nearly everywhere you go nowadays, be it a road, be it a supermarket, be it an event, be it a day out somewhere, be it a holiday destination, is literally rammed with people everywhere. And one of the things I've noticed is a lot of our hygiene practices are dropping. I think humans are dropping hygiene practices left, right, and centre. I've seen some awful things. Filthy tables in restaurants and cafes, and I mean filthy tables. Do you know what I mean? You can tell they've not been touched. Um, Filthy public toilets. I am seeing that it's easy to look at this and go, oh, fake news. We'll come to that in a minute. But I am also seeing that as humans, we are going out too much. Now, don't get triggered with that. Listen to me before you come at me. As humans, we are not meant to be all congregating like this in these places continuously. We are meant to be living in community, but not when we're in these big shopping centres, malls, these big busy cafes all of the time, restaurants, schools. Everywhere's just overpopulated. It's too much energy, too many germs. And I am seeing that we are going to see more and more viruses and germs and bacteria because of that. There is an element here, a bit like the 2020 lockdowns, where, and I remember going for a walk and everyone was scared to come near you, so people stood away from you. So people didn't come into your energy field, which I thought was beautiful, to be quite honest, because a lot of upgrades were happening back then. It's something similar now. Many people, if they're going onto an ascension path, will be required to slow down and step back. This will also bring about that as well to give people I mean, some people will catch anything and they'll still go out and you'll never stop them and they'll just go on that karmic wheel forevermore. But some people will get ill and they'll look after themselves and stay at home. I've just seen that as well. So interesting. Death at the bottom. Let's go for it. The Wheel of Fortune. Five of Swords in reverse. The Hierophant in reverse. Fear, misleading energies. Knight of Cups. Sun in reverse. Strength in reverse. Nine of Swords in reverse. And Three of Pentacles upright. Let's have a clarify for the Three of Pentacles. So, ooh, okay. One's just flipped out the Emperor in reverse. So there is a misuse of power in this information. There is an exaggeration here. There are games being played and a wish of someone's that needs to be fulfilled. There is an old story repeating itself, an old narrative that's coming back in. These news articles are not coming from light source, they're coming from fear to try to suppress. Now you could say, well, what you said at the beginning of this video was a form of suppression. No, it's not. I've got to be careful what I say. There's a difference between turning up at a big shopping centre and it being rammed and thinking, not for me, thank you, and driving away, than sat there being determined you're going to park up and you're going to go in there. To going out to a quiet little cafe somewhere. Do you know what I mean? There's two sides to this. There's a manipulation energy, but there's also the energetic upgrade energy, where it brings us to question, like the pandemic that we had changed many lives. I know many people are still caught in that loop of fear with it, but that's fine, let them. But many people actually stepped onto an ascension path and an awakening path as well. Many people changed their lives for the better. Many things fell apart. Very similar here. There was a sinister element to that, but there was also the awakening that comes from it, if that makes sense. So, what I would say is take it with a pinch of salt, but also know that this is also part of the awakening and the ascension. Very much like everything I'm going to be reading on today, it's all part of it. In one way, shape, or form, all of the stories on the world stage now are trying to teach us something, and show us something. let's have a look at the governance oracle in relation to this. So the super flu. It's the governance oracle. Super flu, UK super flu, UK super flu. Targeted attack. I mean, there can also be that element as well with viruses, future viruses coming that could be a form of warfare. Outside the trusted circle, not all the information is being given. Controlled speech. Military control. Dodging the question. Shadow operation. Providing intervention. Mounting tension. One more card. A deal has been made with the makers of that, possibly. Yes? Yeah, we were me, yeah? So we've got the spiritual element, we've got humans needing to learn lessons about this and about crowded spaces. The upgrades that are coming in, and is it conducive for humans that are on ascension path to be crammed in? When you think about your energy field can go out up to approximately 30 feet. So if you're in a crowded space, you're going to be in people's energies, whether you like it or not. At the 3D earth level, it's like this. Give me lemons and we'll make lemonade, that type of thing. So at the 3D earth level, this is for a form of a targeted attack. This is about controlling the speech, controlling the narrative, controlling the news and what comes into the news, controlling the people. It's also been used as a distraction away from something else that's happening. It's almost like, right, there's a bag of stuff here. What am I going to pull from the bag to try and get you away from that? So there's a shadow operation here. There's been a continuous shadow operation across the world for many, many years. Again, a fear about towards the young with this. So I'm not sure if it's targeting the young more, but there's something about the young. The mounting tension that the young are feeling. I've told you in video after video, the young are going to be the changers, the big changes to come. It's always going to be the same with every generation. And the next generation is going to take the baton on and take the ascension to the next level. And a deal has been made. So overall, card for the people of the UK, card for the people of the UK. Knight of Wands going forward. And the Four of Wands at the bottom, the collapsing of the systems and a new energy coming in, a new vibrancy coming in. This isn't sod it, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep going into these crowded spaces and not looking after my health, because something as well is we are all going to be going on this ascension path, learning about the right ways to look after health, the right type of nutrition, exercise, meditation, Reiki, energy healing, all of it. Okay, so this is rebirthing a new way. Okay, coming away from the old patriarchal systems, moving on to Trump's. Oh, I'm moving a not flush. Might have to get a fan on this desk. Anyway, so this is Trump's travel plans. To check his social media before they let him into this country, to be quite honest. Check his address book as well. Over the past 10 to 20 years and more. Anyway, Trump's travel check social media. Oops. King of Pentacles in reverse, misuse of power, calculated moves, fearful moves as well, wanting to control the narrative. When that man is upright, as in the King of Pentacles, not Trump, um, well, actually, when any human is upright in relation to the King of Pentacles, they're self-confident, they're trustworthy. So, say if you came to me and said, I'm thinking about setting up business with this person, and they got that card, King of Pentacles, upright, I'd say, yeah. They're dependable, they're intelligent with money, they're successful, they're abundant, they've got experience of money behind them, yeah. But when they're in reverse, it's like don't set up business with them. Keep away from them. Um Trump travel plans, social media checks, please. Okay. Emperor in reverse, misuse of power in a huge way. Total manipulation, using all the tactics that he has to cause more control. He wants control not just of America but of the world. Um, Fear mongering, totalitarianism, that word that Claire cannot say, energy. Word. Um, 10 of Wands upright, the burden of the people, the burden of the US people, the burden of the travel industry of the US. Um, the things that he's carrying as well. Hanged man in reverse. People are starting to see through him. People are starting to see through his shady dealings. People are starting to see his shady past. People are starting to realize that this man is a huge burden, that his ideas and his promises are corrupted at the core. You know, using his strength at every turn. My will, my will, all of the time. Victory. He could get what he wants. He could get what he wants here. I just don't know how they're going to check everybody's social media. Um, I mean, we won't be going in then, will we? Because can you imagine him looking at this channel, listening to this video? So, okay, Trump, bye. Um, I personally wouldn't go there now because if this comes in, because I mean, no. If you've seen my channeling with George Orwell, there's no chance I'd go into a country that's doing this. And this thing could come across the world as well, so it's not just US. But there's a determination here to bring this in. It's also very similar to the UK, distraction energy from the things that he's carrying. But his ideals, his party, his presidency is falling apart, and it's going to continue to fall apart. What comes after this victory? The King of Wands, yeah, he's absolutely determined. Let me just pull on whether this can happen. Let's just pull on whether this can happen. And then we'll pull a few governance cards. Will he bring this into play? Will he bring this into play? Will he bring this into play? Will he bring it into play? Three of Cups in reverse. The people. Not got the strength of the people, the support of the people, the majority of people, even people in his own party. Whoops. Temperance, upright. Illusion and delusion. He wants to be seen as the hero. He wants to be seen as the big I am, the big change maker. Um, Very naive, unfounded plans that he will possibly have to move away from. I mean, that is travel as well. He will say that it's about immigration. He will say he will do all of that fear mongering stuff again. But this goes higher than that. This is about this energy on the world that still wants dominance, of which he is part of. Okay. Three of Swords, heartbreak, battles, and death and rebirth. We'll do a card. What comes after that? Six of Pentacles, needing to balance. But I'm feeling with this one, it's the red robes, the wealth here, the poor people here. Um, this isn't, I've said this before, I don't like to stay in this energy because it's not a good place to be. But this isn't just going to sort itself out overnight. There's some real deep energies here. There could be aspects of leading to civil war. There could be uprisings, rebellion. At a higher physical level, it's not cracking at all. It's not good at 3D level, but at a higher level, this is also part of the essential. Like I said with this list, it's all about the awakening to the systems within our countries and our worlds, the good, the bad, and the ugly, for us to make an informed decision going forward about what we truly want. Is this person of heart-centered consciousness? Is this person of the divine feminine and of the divine masculine? So, this is yet going to be another difficult chapter in the history of all of this. Um, and one that, unfortunately, something about the feminine with this as well, the feminine energy. Would he just say it's female? I don't know. This was just something about the three women. This could be three women in his team or three women that he knows. There's something about these three women in reverse. Is this a wounding of flow that comes back to some type of feminine wounding? Because the feminine energy is about flow. There's something with this man in relation to the feminine energy. And a man can hold the feminine energy as well. It's about flow, it's about freedom and liberation, it's about enjoyment. I mean, Three of Cups is about parties and holidays and getting together and celebrating. It's almost like he can't abide it. Anyway, Governance Oracle. Trump's travel social media plans. Okay. Economic challenge, there will be a kickback because anybody with any kind of sense is not going to go to a country that wants you to do this. Okay, people are going to go, no, not a chance. Um, it's a succession plan, so it's part of this big plan that's been going on that goes even above Trump. Improved situation, but at what cost? Bottomless money pits, a difficult decision going forward, peace treaty. And no, not the right move. One more card, not the right move. And the power of persuasion. That's him in the Oval Office, trying to use his power of persuasion, having this view as a bottomless money pit. He literally will drain America's finances. Um, a real ripping back of power that will lead to some hugely difficult decisions. It's all connected to what I keep talking about, especially on Claire Thackeray. Um, we the YouTube channel, where about the history of America, the curses of the land, what's happened with America, the stealing of the land, etc. This is all part of that stuff coming up. You know, that card, improved situation, reminds me of the George Orwell book. At what cost? You know, at what cost is AI going to improve your life? Yeah, you don't have to think about what you're writing, but really, is that what you want to spend your life with? Where you just type a few things in and an artwork appears? Um, and this is something we've got to watch in all of our lives because sometimes something comes in and it looks easy, but it's actually, At what cost? So if he gets to do this, there will be an economic challenge. Many people will refuse to go over. I think anyone should refuse to go over. It should be boycotted. Sorry. We've got to make a stand at some point. Anyway, right, done. I'm going to not just read Trump on straight again. I'm going to go to Meghan and then to Trump again. Okay, so we don't get too much trumped. I don't know why I'm doing that, but anyway. Meghan sends a letter to Thomas Markle. It's been hand delivered, apparently. Anybody else have a feeling it could be Marcus Anderson that delivered that letter? I don't know. I mean, it did say one of her people or PRs. Um, but my God. Show me the situation. Oops, show me the situation. Oh, deep, deep, deep wounded. She may if she has done that, she may regret it. Um, None of this comes from a good place. Even the letter itself doesn't come from a good place. Um, and it's only going to lead to more upheaval. Ace of Wands, boom, I've done it. I've sent the letter. There you go. It's almost like, there's your letter. You've got your letter. You've got your proof. It's almost like she's beholden to this man. Because of possibly the things that he knows. I mean, he's already a very vocal person in relation to journalism, but it's almost like, got your letter, there you go, take your letter. Because I said she's beholden to him, she's beholden to him. He has things on her, he knows things about her. She's totally tied up in this. Um, Many people I'm feeling is thinking, especially people that have separated themselves from problematic parents. I think he's a problematic parent. I don't want him as a dad. Are feeling, oh God, why have you done this, Meghan? And I think one of you put in the comments, and I get what you said about no child that's decided to go no contact should be pressured into it. I agree totally. But she originally said she'd made contact, and it came out that there was an illusion around that. But this goes much deeper because she's a world stage player. And I do genuinely believe Thomas and his two, and I said his two spawn. Sorry, that's not nice. I know, but I just cannot deal with it, with what's going on with all of I just can't deal with it. Um, Thomas Jr. and Sammy and what they're doing, it's just horrible. It's all horrible. What Meghan did was horrible. It's all horrible. But she's totally beholden to them. Um, and even if Thomas passes, those two siblings are going to have free run then. Do you know what I mean? She like literally is going to spend the rest of her life with this. What's Demal? I know the word, but I can't pronounce it. Demalis is sort of Demalis. Let me just Google it. Sort of. Is it sort of Demalis? What is it? What word is it? An iodem representing imminent and ever-present peril. Ooh, that is experienced by those in power or a precarious situation where tragedy could strike at any moment. Now, that's not a word I would use because I can't even say the bloody word. Sword of Damalaxil. Shh. So this is interesting. An iodom, representing an imminent and ever-present peril that is experienced by those in power or a precarious situation where tragedy could strike at any moment. She is in the form of power. I know it's not compared to King Charles or the Wales is, or a president or prime minister, but she's a very not popular, well, very infamous, famous person. Um, so they're gonna hold that over her forevermore. It comes from a Greek legend where a courtier, that word, who was envious of King Dionysus' life, was invited to a banquet and seated under a sword, suspended by a single horsehair, illustrating the constant fear and anxiety that comes with power. Wow. If you say that someone has a sword of done whatever it is hanging over their head, you mean that they are in a situation in which something very bad could happen to them at any time. That's her. Um, secrets being revealed, attempts, attacks, Ace of Pentacles, just the sun, kick back from it. There's a real, and I think this can be experienced in many blended families where this isn't just about her being Meghan Markle. This is a sibling thing of the new little baby that came into the family and the older siblings. Again, very similar to the book I've just read. The God, the Dragons. I always forget the I love the book, but I keep forgetting the name by Sharon Penman. Here Be Dragons. Um, got a very similar storyline of a group of siblings in there. The new baby comes along, becomes the heir, and the old children to the old partner get kicked off and triggered with the new. So this is another old system, an old pattern playing out. But the siblings will not like this Ten of Pentacles because they want true control of father. And again, how it's laid on my desk is this. So that's her, and that's the siblings. So they want her controlled. They want her. Um, I mean, there was the pieces of work, the family. So there is a vendetta here from the Markle side. Now, how deeply Thomas is involved in that? I'd like to think not fully, but how deeply is he involved in it? But there is this a jealousy towards Meghan. Um, I don't want to say probably from Samantha just because she's a female, but um, she's married the prince. She's got the money. She's got a job. She's got global dominance for some people. Um, Thomas's role and Thomas's involvement in this really deep, dark sibling rivalry that's going on. Queen of Wands, like a takedown energy, not wanting to see it in it, but not wanting to see it, allowing it to happen. Right. So Meghan's energy in sending of this letter. Meghan's energy in sending this letter. Meghan Markle, Meghan Sussex, Duchess of Sussex. You know, transition. Six of Swords. Five of Swords in reverse. Keep pulling. Wheel of Fortune. Four of Wands in reverse. Queen of Swords in reverse. Possibility that she's had a lot of guidance with this letter. Wanting to draw a line in the sand. The Moon, internal world, shadows. Knight of Wands in reverse. And Death and Rebirth. What comes after that one? The Three of Cups. Let me pull a card from, because this worked really well with those two the last time I used it. This is the forecast oracle. Okay, it's this one. Financial abundance, growth and expansion. Just flipped out. She got that last time. Meghan's energy in this letter. Unveiled truth. Tell all. Spotlight flux entertainment. Reality override perception deception. Light Keeper, Faith and Hope, Cosmic Frontier, Above and Beyond. One more card. Developing Now in Motion. So this, if you've watched my predictions for Harry and Meghan, which I felt was a really difficult read energetically because there's something huge in 2026. And I think it's this starts here with this. Whatever's going on with this leaks over into 2026 in a very, very big way. Now we've got two aspects of Meghan coming in here. We've got the injured inner child, the little girl that wants to be loved by daddy, that part of her that is unaffected by the world, by the challenges of the world, that wants to be loved by daddy. We've also got the woman that she's become with the damage and the trauma, because I know many people label her as a narcissist, but can I just say as well here that something makes a narcissist? I don't believe narcissists are just born. Um, I may be wrong, but the heart consciousness of this reading is seeing something else and saying at the centre of this is a very damaged little girl who has grown into a woman that has gone into survival mode. She's much more complex than people realise. I mean, very similar to Diana. I'm not comparing her to Diana, but there's a complexity to Diana because Diana, many people got triggered by Diana. Many people were triggered by Diana because they couldn't tolerate the light that she had because she was a light being that came to this earth and they could not tolerate that. It blinded them. I've got to say that and make that clear. Many people didn't like her because they could see the manipulative side. But there was also a huge manipulative side with the royal family. With Meghan, it's the same, similar thing. She doesn't embody that light. You'll never see what you saw with Diana for some time. So that's where the you know similarities end. But there is a complex situation with this human being. She's been bred and reared in a toxic environment by people that have toxic emotional responses. So she's grown up with toxic emotional responses. And then she's gone off into La La Land and all of that, and the royal family and Harry and all his traumas. And it's just a big hot mess. But what I'm feeling with this is don't get your knickers in a twist. It doesn't affect your family. Allow these group of people to work through what they need to work through. And like Keeper, keeping our faith and hope and not allowing. And we've all got there's people on the world stage that really trigger me. I was having a conversation this morning about somebody on the world stage, and that shadow came well out. And I'm not going to judge myself for it because it's a pointer that there's still some wound in there. Um, but I mustn't let that become a poison that causes dis-ease within my life and my body. And I think way too many people are causing letting a Meghan, Trump, Farage, Starmer, whoever else on the world stage that triggers to cause disease and imbalance within the body. I know when I did that thing with the eye, when she filmed herself in Paris, when I saw that and I instantly said, "What the hell is that in my eye?" And the guide showed me, I was horrified. I was horrified. I didn't beat myself up with it, but I was like, I'm never going to let her do that to me again. It's not worth it because that was just a blood vessel in the eye. What if it had been in the brain? What if it had been in the heart? What if it had been long term getting stressed about Meghan Markle, who I've never met and possibly never will met? So, deep and hormonal. That's just what I'm feeling. Maybe at a higher level, the higher oversoul, higher self, whatever you want to call it, is trying to teach us that. And maybe this is all also part of the divine feminine wounding and healing that is going on in the world about this persecution of women. Yes, she's made mistakes. Yes, she's been a wrecking ball. But that doesn't mean to say we have to be just as problematic, just as toxic. Um, and actually, there's a big thing here with all of this where when you can look at somebody that you think is doing bad or whatever, but you can instantly go into your heart space and heart consciousness, it changes the game. Doesn't mean to say you can't be see through them or see beyond what they're doing, etc. Doesn't mean to say that you're all happy clappy and everything's wonderful. Um, you don't have to become a sugar. Do you know what I mean? Um, that's spiritual maturity, that's life maturity. And this thing with Meghan, we've all been involved, many of us have been involved in it, and felt many things. And I think now as we're heading into 2026, 2027, 28 along and beyond, it's about really stepping up and yeah. And that's all I'm going to be reading on with this in this reading. So yeah. Right. Venezuela. Now this politics goes right over my head. So let's go for it. I literally just looked at a title this morning, a headline. Um, Queen of Cups, kindness. Ooh, Diana, Queen of the Goddess. Goddess Diana, Lady of Avalon. I got slammed last time I said it by just a small group of people, but I've genuinely had an upgrade. Interesting, a download where I've seen that in years to come. You know, like Mary, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, all of the goddesses that walk this planet. I have seen in years to come um, that people will honor the energy of the spirit of Diana. Just as people step more and more into their goddess energy, and as the more of the divine feminine and masculine, we're going to be looking at history in a very different way. Um, and we will be looking at certain world stage players. And yeah, interesting. I'm just sharing it with you. To me, she's the goddess of the heart. I've always said there's ancient wisdom. There was ancient lifetimes lineages within Diana, which is why there was such an impact with her death. Um, but anyway, ooh, back to US and Venezuela, and this US seizes oil tanks or something. Ooh, very shady dealings, hidden depths going on here. We've got this, needed something to release at the bottom of the deck. This is about money and power. Controlling of the oil. This is over my head. I'm just reading the cards anyway. Ace of Cups energy coming in. The Sun. So I'm sure the cacao I use comes from Venezuela. I know there's issues. I know there's issues. I know there's not just, whenever you've got a country that has many light codes and many light things, you're going to have the shadow there. But there's something in this. Let me just look at a picture. I just want to look at a picture of Venezuela. Venezuela. Who's this prime minister? Is it a prime minister or a president? The primary colours, their flag is the primary colours. Takes me back to primary school in the 80s, those colours. Those coloured paints we used to have in the pots with the brushes. I wonder if they still have that. Let me know in the comments. Fears US is beginning a war. What's going on here? There's something he wants access to. This this goes further back, this goes to ancient times as well. The hijacking of that country by elite, rich, powerful, dark energies, um, rising up to control the supplies in that country, to control the energies in that country. Let's keep pulling. That's what I was talking about, the Ten of Cups. The happy rays of that country. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Three of Swords. Five of Wands in reverse. Is this heading for a war between Venezuela and US? Are we heading for a war? Are we heading for a war? Queen of Cups at the bottom in reverse. There's definitely something coming with that, and it's not from the heart center. Let's just have a look. Whilst ever you're watching overhead, you're not seeing what's going on underground. A war of the seas takes you away from the earth activities, the underground activities. This is being staged for something else that is to come. It's all about bringing in new legislation. The dark forces of the world knew where to plant themselves with the ley lines, the power centers, etc. The wisdom to take full control of it, to have a network across the world, to get this dark energy bubbling and going and from country to country, to have full control of the narrative. But it has to burn itself out. There's investment in this. This isn't by accident, it's planned. There's dark money involved in this at the cost of humans. But there's something here with the Ace of Cups and the Mother Gaia energy, the goddess energy rising up. The dark frequency that operates through these people is aware of the light that's rising up, the Mother Gaia energy, the goddess energy, all of that coming up. And this is also how it's controlling the it's like the puppet master energy. It's like this dark force is a puppet master energy. Guidance for humans at this time. Guidance for people in the US and Venezuela. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. It's about the need for land, the power over land and people and supplies. Possibly trying to affect the indigenous tribes there. Five of Cups in reverse and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. This is the accumulation of many actions over many lifetimes. Whenever you find yourself in a situation of suffering or great joy, great suffering, there is a lesson to be learned, something from a past life experience that is having to be relived, reevaluated from a different perspective. There is no pushing a button to get out of this. It's something that we have to get through it to get to the other end. Ooh. Leadership battles, just there's quite a few. Well, it's just usually there'll be too many for me here, but I'm going to go for it. Leadership battle, shadow operation, like I said, a targeted attack. Another kind of yes. So yes, it's a targeted attack. This isn't doesn't feel as though this is a defensive strategy. A facade of goodwill. Internal adversary. Look at the US flag there. Bottomless money pit. Improved situation. Economic challenge. All about the money, all about power, all about this 1984 energy of it's an improved situation, but at what cost? Because I've handed my soul over to a bigger power. Um, it's all coming up. It's coming to a head. The world's darkness is coming to a head right now. Um, will it burn the world out? No. Will it leave a legacy? Yes. Trump's also treating this like a boy would with a computer game. I'm getting that energy or battleship games. It's all a game to him. It's all um, he's like a kid in a sweet shop. Okay, right. Final thing is Princess Sofia of Sweden and Epstein. Princess Sofia of Sweden, her energy in this. Okay. Ooh, what? Two of Cups, a meeting, like-minded. This is about her personality. Um, a moment for her to look at herself and the contacts, the past that she's had. Star card. Two of Swords, something taken out of her hands, felt she had no choice. Ace of Swords. Justice in reverse. High Priestess. Oof. Ace of Wands. Eight of Swords. 6, 7, 8, one more. And the Strength card. Okay. This is a part of her life on a personal level that she is having to face and get out there before she can move on her spiritual journey, on her life journey. It's an aspect of her from the past, obviously, no shit Sherlock, that has been seriously out of balance, that's been causing imbalance within the body. That she has to face before she can move forward. And now we're going to move to another deck, the forecaster. So, Princess Sophia of Sweden, her energy with Epstein in the past, her energy with Epstein in the past, a connection to Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein in the past. Again, another example of women and the wounding of women that had been programmed to believe that they're nothing without rich, powerful men, that they should collaborate with, entice, connect with these people for their survival. So it's more wounding of that coming up to the world stage. Unseen connection, hidden dynamics. She's possibly heavily involved with him. Silent speech, censorship at the bottom. Open dialogue, communication. Is she on the phone there? Communication. So obviously there is communication because she's come up in the Epstein files. Escalated conflict, intensity rising. There's something I keep saying, we keep getting planes in readings. All of these planes, all of this has been going on between countries and interconnected. Terror response, she's living in absolute fear. Oops. Animal signal, animal instincts for survival. It was all about survival. It was animalistic. Diplomatic fallout, tension. Not sure of the policies in Sweden. There's going to be a kickback from the women of Sweden that are not going to like this. It's a bit like it being our Catherine, isn't it? Finding out that Catherine in, I don't know, university was on the list, emailing Epstein away. There'd be uproar and upset over that as well. God forbid. Smart grid rising, urban evolution. Urban evolution, the people. Rising up, plan ahead, preparation. So she's covering her tracks, planning ahead, a strategy. How did she meet her husband? I don't even know anything about this Swedish royal family. Let's just have a look at them. So, Princess Sofia. So she's 41. So Prince Carl Philip, Duke of what? So the palace, Swedish palace, has confirmed that Princess Sofia met Jeffrey Epstein multiple times. So his name, her spouse, Prince Carl Philip, Duke of Värmland. Let's have a look at him. Hmm. So they met in 2009 through mutual friends at a restaurant in Sweden. Reminds me a bit when I'm reading how they met. Reminds me a bit of Harry and Meghan and how they met up. The setting, couple first met in a restaurant, mutual friends, that old chestnut. Right, what's this here? Their relationship was initially kept private but became public in 2010, surprising many due to Sophia's past. Is he aligned to the throne? Is he aligned to the throne? I don't know. It's hard to tell from my point. So his parents called Gustav. Would it say who his children? No, Victoria, Crown Princess of Sweden. So who's Victoria, Crown Princess? I'm presuming she'll be. So it's oh right, so it's a female. That's Victoria, 1977. So this woman, Sophia, isn't going to become queen of whatever. Um, it's going to the female line. Okay. I wonder if she's had some play in this coming up because, like the next generation that are waiting to come into power, um, want to make sure that they're coming into something clean. They don't want to have to deal with the stuff from the previous generation that's lost. Let's just have a little dive into this. Um, Princess Sofia of Sweden, oops, and her connection to Epstein. Princess Sofia of Sweden, ooh, and her connection to Epstein. Okay. Reprimand. Oh God, there's two gossip. Reprimand, punish. Ooh. Punish or discipline. So um you could read that two ways. You could say that she's been involved with the physical aspect of it, dominance, etc. You could also say that this is part of her punishment in whoever's brought this information up. Gossip, not all true. Okay, so we've got gossip, not all true. The Fall, the Tower, part of the clearing, another celebrity, famous person, royal figure to be part of the clearing, hardship, five of coins. So going into this world because of financial hardship and financial hardship possibly coming from this. There's a group here, three women, three of coins that's involved. She's part of a group of women. She could be one of these yacht girls that they talk about. Fatality. Ooh, there's a fatality energy here. We'll pull them, then we'll look. Executive, the Hierophant, Epstein. She's heavily connected. Um, I mean, could she even be connected to the of him? You know what I mean? Set up to take the blame. I do wonder if denied, not permitted to the something, to not. I mean, I don't know how popular she is in the country. Is this to deny? Is this been brought in to deny her popularity in her country as a princess? Um, one more card. Covert cover up. Set up to take the blame. I think a lot of these people that I think Father, yes, they're involved in it. We must remember that because I know there's some crazy, they're taking the fall for everybody and they're innocent, all that kind of bullshit. I think these people are involved in it, but I think the ones that are getting thrown to the wolves are the weakest links. I think the really big players in this will be protected, and I think they're throwing out little tidbits. Um, but I also think as well that other people are using that to bring about these people's downfall because it's given them the perfect excuse. Um, can I clarify with that covert cover up? I look back to the energy of the noughties, and the noughties was a very different time to now, especially for females. Whereas females, you didn't really know where you belonged or what you were meant to be. And it was very glamorous back then for women to still think that, older, richer men were the way forward. And I'm feeling that here, that wealth was your way, especially as a woman. And it was almost like the women of that time, the young women, my generation in the noughties, it was a purging that we went through. Protection guarded. and bound, tied into it. How involved with him was she? How involved with Epstein was she? I'm thinking she was really involved with him, really involved in this. Um, how involved was she in this? Web of lies, interconnected. She's heavily involved, according to the cards. Brain fog, hazy, not in the right mind back then. Um, I think going forward, she just has to take what comes, learn her lessons. Um, if she needs to step down, she needs to step down. Um, we need to hope it makes her a better person, or that it's already. I don't even know anything about her apart from her name. Um, there's going to be many more of these situations where there's going to be families, groups that are not going to really know how to deal with their loved ones in this. Um, and it's going to rumble on. What's the future for her? That's the tarot deck. What's the future for her? What's the future for her, Princess Sofia of Sweden? Two of Cups in reverse. So there could be a breaking up of her marriage. What's going on here? Yes, the family breakdown. Needing to step away, needing to either publicly or privately part. Um, stepping away from raw duties even. Future for Princess Sofia of Sweden. Decision coming from a male, a long-lasting decision that needs to be made to release the burden, to release the connection to her. The sun, maybe even going abroad to another climate, another country. A lack of funds, lack of self-confidence. It's very deep-rooted, clean-up job. Um, out in the cold, needing to release that. Let me just pull one more card. And the High Priestess. And let's pull a card from this deck, apparently. Future for Princess Sofia of Sweden. See, I'm even struggling to remember her name as well. Surveillance state monitoring. Ooh. So monitoring her. I'm telling you, she's involved very deeply. Role exit, closing the door. So the cards are saying that in the future she's going to be stepping down, either voluntary or being pushed. Rejection from family, rejection from relationship, a King of Pentacle energy here, putting their needs first and their joy and their ambition first. Because this person, Sophia, is losing her shine for someone now. It's almost like we possibly knew she was I hate the words, not my words, tainted goods, but now it's out in the public and we don't like that. We don't like that because all royal families survive on looking pristine, looking royal. Um, and they need to go for that. And they need to maintain it in their own way, okay, in their own belief system. Um, but this will be her having a very deep and profound lesson. Possibly as well, someone that's had many lifetimes in these areas where she's been a girl like this or a woman like this. And it's something that she's having to learn on a very deep level. Power, men, money, sex, all of it. Titles. A lot of the men, not of the men, a lot of the women in these roles at the minute having to learn it in very similar ways and very different ways. Anyway, we're done for today. Thanks for watching. There is a playlist on here called The Global News. You can catch me on there. Remember, the next group healing is the 16th and 17th of December, end of year deep heal, deep cleanse. We have got to keep looking after ourselves in all of this, and we mustn't let all of this drama take away from our healing journeys. £22 for 2 days distance shuttled healing from two of us now. Details are below on how to put your name down. Yes. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hype, all of that stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.